Hi, I'm Ajay Singhania, MD CEO Epack Durable Limited and founder of the Epack Group.
What is the story? So
Uh,
what was your family business about? And when you were doing your graduation, post graduation, at that time, were you thinking of starting something or going into business or?
so first of all, I'll start this way that I was born in 1975 in a very, let's say, a lower middle class kind of a family, wherein my father was working in one of his relatives' shop as a salesperson. And somewhere around that time when I was born, he decided to move away out of his job and start his own business. So he opened up a motor parts, spare parts shop in Assam, Guwahati. So that was way back in 1974-75 when he started his journey as a business person on his own. And then shortly he was joined by one of his friends as partner. So the two of them started growing the business, and I was born in that time. So we were kind of a lower middle class family, making the ends meet, and definitely slightly better than maybe that. So going to school was a very normal school. Just it was a missionary school I went to from nursery till 10th, 11th, and school also was a very normal school. No, not like any. It was a missionary school. So me, my brothers, so we have four siblings. My sister being the eldest, then I have elder brother and a younger brother. All four of us went to the same school. And no, it was such a school wherein even the fees was subsidized if you have your siblings. So I mean, no, it was a very humble beginning, and somehow, no, right from the school days, uh, all of our siblings, I mean, me, my brothers, sisters, we were quite, let's say, bright students amongst the lot. So the teachers used to give us a slight more attention, or were kind of expecting us to do better than the others. So that gave us some attention, and then also put some pressure on us कि चलो हमको और अच्छा करना है. So that way, school से तो निकल गए. But I'll say something more interesting here is that there was always some sort of competition between the four siblings. So the gap between me and my brother is just 1 year, and then my brother and my sister is 2 years. So no, एक informal competition था. Let's say because जब आप एक joint family में रहते हो तो there is always this comparison going on. So somewhere क्योंकि gap सिर्फ एक साल है to draw more attention from the parents. Uh, I think not only me, my brother also, we always thought कि मैं उससे अच्छा कैसे करूँ. How do I do something different to get more attention from the parents? So, 10th, like, although we were from a business family, my brother joined a commerce college. So, in those days, we had 11th, 12th were done in college after school. So, when I completed my 10th a year after, obviously, I didn't want to go to commerce. And getting slightly better marks than my brother, I thought, अब उसने कॉमर्स लिया तो मेरे को तो साइंस ही लेनी पड़ेगी ना. आई हैव टू टेक साइंस, नॉट नोइंग आफ्टर टेकिंग साइंस वेयर इट वुड लीड मी. आई मीन द ऑप्शन आप वंस आई टेक साइंस इज आइदर आई बिकम अ डॉक्टर और एन इंजीनियर दैट वे, बट जस्ट बस अलग करना है, कुछ डिफरेंट करना और अटेंशन लेना, नो, एंड बीइंग वेरी ऑनेस्ट हियर. So that's how I ended up taking science in 11th, 12th. So once I got into one of a very premier higher secondary schools in Assam, I got out of that world wherein of the school, and I was suddenly exposed to students who were much brighter than me, obviously, who were more exposed to the world. And I think that was one 2 years when I learned a lot about what are the options when you think of choosing a career or a professional journey in life. And those friends, they started telling me that मैं तो IIT के लिए prepare कर रहा हूँ ना, I'm preparing for this. So, I mean, the world of opportunities opened up for me. And I just started tagging along with them, taking those tuitions, taking the classes for IIT entrances and all those things. And I think most of my learning into the world of professionalism started once I ended my school and got into the higher secondary. So, 12th, I was lucky to crack the NIT Hamirpur, and I got into electrical engineering. My 4 years of engineering journey started. Again, although in my engineering college, I was able to get good marks, and somehow complete my engineering, but I always had that flavor that I wanted to use the practical knowledge of engineering, not for the sake of working for somebody, but doing something different. I don't know what. But in the fourth year itself, I started preparing for my MBA. Now, again, herein came my second round of comparison with my brother. So he completed his BCom. He went on to Australia to do his MBA. Now,
How, by this time, were your parents earning enough to pay for Australian
yeah,
education and all?
definitely yes. So my father, in last those 15, 20 years while we were growing up, had scaled up his business substantially and had earned a good bit of reputation in the market. And definitely from
What
being
was his
lower,
business?
he had moved on to well, it's like a higher middle class, let's say.
Okay. And what business was it?
So this was automobile spare parts trading business in Assam.
Okay.
And he definitely had earned a lot of good reputation. So I talk about his journey separately. I mean, that's something um, what should journey of my parents and especially my father is something very close to my heart. So I lost both my parents a couple of years ago. So I'll talk about it separately because I think that's one of the most inspiring stories. Not just because he was my father, but otherwise also it's something I love to definitely share with people. So first, going back to that journey of getting into an MBA thing. So my brother went on, did his MBA from Swinburne University, Melbourne, Australia. He returned back to India, and we tried. I was so while he was doing his MBA, I was in my final year of engineering. So I was talking to him on the phone, and he inspired me. Ki, you should look at the US. And obviously, I had no idea. No, again, very honestly, I had no idea which part of the globe, United States, he's actually living in a place like Hamirpur, India, Assam. No, it was like a distant dream. पासपोर्ट पे कोई वीजा भी नहीं लगा था जिंदगी में. Have never been out of India, so no, sound like a dream, and I started pursuing it. So I gave my GMAT, my TOEFL, and I got admission into a good University of Scranton in Pennsylvania. All expenses paid with a proper, not just an
Scholarship.
internship. So it was a full scholarship thing, and I mean, I had no idea what different I had done. I was just I got a dream and I followed it, and I ended up in the US. And I did my MBA from there. And then again, while I was doing my MBA, I had no dream to stay back there. Whereas most of my friends who were pursuing the degree with me had plans to settle down in the US, wanted their H1Bs done, was looking for the job. The day I finished my MBA, the next day I moved back to India. And so by then, my brother had already been in Delhi for almost a year. So both of us, we never wanted to go back to Assam and join that family business of automobile shop. We had thought that no, having done this bit, we definitely wanted to do something bigger to make our parents feel proud and do something in Delhi, which we believe was the land of opportunities in India. And that's how I think our journey, the step one of our journey together, started in Delhi. From where on, I think there's never been looking back.
Okay. Uh, what was the, how did the business start then? So you did your MBA in the US, then what?
Yeah. So since my brother graduated almost a year and a half before I did, so he was in Delhi looking for opportunities. Um, so, like I said, my father had partners with both her families. So together we've known each other today now for almost 5 decades, 50 years. Um, so the two sons of Bothra family, Mr. Bajrang Bothra and Lakshmipat Bothra, they had already settled in Delhi in 80s itself, early 80s itself. Both of them had begun their entrepreneurial journey by starting some manufacturing industries in packaging. So when my brother landed up in Delhi, he met, so we call Bajrang Bhaiya LPP, he met them and they were extremely excited. Ki, "Chalo, we have a fresh blood coming and joining in the business and let us start something together." Yeah. So like both parents were already together in the trading business, he say. So there was this thing, let's together also do something in manufacturing in Delhi. And definitely you are the first one in our generation to have done an MBA from abroad and come back to Delhi. So for almost a year and a half, they were looking at opportunities, did something small, छोटे मोटे business एक साथ करने की कोशिश की. So there were a lot of failures, obviously. And then we stumbled into an opportunity of starting a packaging, thermocol packaging, EPS it is called. So expanded polystyrene packaging for LG. So the Indian economy had just opened up in the late 90s. And we had this LGs and Samsungs of the world coming to India and putting up manufacturing facilities. And they were looking to create their own supplier base. And because Bazen and LPBR were already into packaging for some customers, they got easily introduced to LG. And they asked my brother Sanjay, ki, should we start this thermocol factory together? And we said, yes, I mean, it seems like an opportunity. And believe me, LG at that point of time obviously was a new entrant. So we never knew how much we could scale this up, but seemed like an opportunity. Let's do it together. And then decided to start the construction. And when I joined in December 99, it was already 4 months into the construction of this new facility we were creating. And by January 2000, we were actually ready to start the business.
Where did you build the facility, the factory?
The factory we built in Greater Noida. It was just next to
Near
LG's
LG.
Yeah,
Okay.
just next to LG's own factory. So like a common wall. So somehow I think here we got an opportunity that we were one of the first suppliers to move close to a company which ultimately grew to be one of India's largest electronic manufacturers.
Amazing. So you joined in what capacity there?
So see, me and my brother were earlier probably the first 2 employees of the company, to say so. So when we joined, the capacity, I mean, there was nothing on the visiting card. It was just we are partners to this business having started together. And no, I think there was a vision when we started this business because LG was a Korean company and we were already doing packaging in this other business from the Voltas family, which is their own business. We wanted to do something different now and to set up this new facility. And so my brother and LP Bhaiya, they went all across Korea to look for the latest technology in this business. And we were the first one to actually import thermocol making machines in India, wherein it was like a cottage industry. We had more than 250 small and large companies already making thermocols in India, but we thought that no, we want to put up an automatic imported plant from Korea, which was like 10 times the cost of what we could have bought the machinery from India itself. And when we bought these machines, now you are asking me about the capacity. So when we bought these machines and we had this Korean engineers coming for installation, we had no engineer hired to actually understand or talk to those Korean engineers. So my initial capacity was I was interacting with those Korean engineers, translating the manuals they had brought, and at times running the machine, and then also teaching the operators who were like 10th, 11th past people how to run this machine. So for the first initial few months, actually, I was also the operator for the machine, also the trainer, and also the one who was kind of translating those manuals into English and Hindi for our own use. The journey started from there. We had no office to begin with. We had just the factory, karkhana, and
Shop
few
floor.
machines.
Okay. Then what? So this thermocol packing is like the molded thermocol in which, like when you buy a TV or something, inside the cardboard box, there is a molded.
Exactly. So that's a molded part which goes inside, and we used to mold those parts and then send just across the road to LG, wherein they were making those appliances. Now, LG was making those appliances for themselves. We were supplying the thermocol. And 2 years after that, in 2002, an opportunity came wherein excise exemption was announced in northeast of India. So Assam and the entire northeastern states, government had announced excise exemption. Means anything getting manufactured there will be no excise duty. Now, at that point of time, the excise duty on air conditions used to be 48%. So it means if the product was 10,000 rupees, it was being sold to the customer at 14,800 plus the local sales tax and everything. So LG took the first mover advantage. They visited Assam and they thought that they should shift at least manufacturing of air conditions to Assam. When they went there, they saw the the local environment in that place. And obviously at that point of time, Assam was kind of a disturbed area with a lot of inherent problems, and they didn't have
The Naxalite problem.
yeah, kind of. So
Okay.
we had the terrorism and at its peak during those days, and obviously they didn't want to get on their own manufacturing in Assam, so they took a step back and decided not to go. In one of the meetings, one of the LG senior person introduced to the management that we have these two young chaps, Ajay Singhania, who are supplying us EPS, and they are basically from Assam. Now, this is somehow the connection was established that they are the people from the Assam, and so suddenly somebody asked us, would you be interested to put up a factory for us in Assam? And I must tell you, most of the people within LG were shocked कि क्या निकल रहा है, थर्मोकोल बनाने वाले छोटे से तो बच्चे ये कहाँ से एसी बनाएंगे और असम में कहाँ जाएंगे. So my brother and Bajrang Bhaiya and all, they immediately got excited and they said, yes, we can definitely do. Let's go together to Assam and explore. And one thing we can assure you, that our parents have kind of good reputation there, and you will see that we have connections to actually protect that. We'll get enough support from the government machinery in case we put up a facility there. And we just bumped into a new opportunity of setting up an air conditioning manufacturing for a multinational LG, and then the rest is history.
So this was a contract manufacturing arrangement that. Okay. And this was like an exclusive 100% of your capacity is bought out by LG. Like they were.
This is a more interesting story, I should say. We started with LG, and a couple of weeks after that, the news spread in the market that somebody has put up a factory in Assam and is actually manufacturing air conditioners for LG. And there's a huge saving in excise duty. So within a few weeks, we had the other customers line up, like the Samsungs and Electrolux, Ocean Rivers and everything. And we had a second setup, making products for everybody, almost.
Okay.
Although at that time, the market in itself was extremely small, but then we had almost 4 or 5 of the leading brands making air conditioners for them. And within a year, actually, the same policy got announced in Uttarakhand and the hilly states in North India. So Uttarakhand and Himachal as well. And we decided to shift our manufacturing from Assam because there was a lot of in and out logistics involved, which was kind of setting off the entire excise benefit. I mean, from 48%, the actual benefit was much reduced because of the in and out logistics involved. So we shifted the base to Dehradun in Uttarakhand within a year of our setup in Assam.
Okay. Like the distance of Assam from the main hubs where the products are, main markets, was so much that the logistics cost ate up the difference. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The moment we shifted the factory to Uttarakhand...
So you had one factory, or you had one factory for LG and one factory for other customers? Or
we had two factories. Then we moved to Uttarakhand and Dehradun. We had set up 2 facilities. Now, within a month or so of
and how did you learn like how to manufacture an AC? Because you had no experience in that.
Yeah, so see, manufacturing of air conditioners, if we talk about to begin with, it was more of an assembly operations. So wherein the parts... Is in OEM, what happens is the customer gives you the entire bill of material, the sources from where the parts would be procured, and you basically do a nut bolting. So it's more of, I say, a glorified Rebirth contractor, wherein you just have an assembly line and you put all the parts together.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So while we had now just moved to Uttarakhand to Dehradun, one fine day, the MD of LG called up Mr. Bothra. So Mr. Bothra, so Bajrang Bhaiya, he is the eldest amongst us, and so Bajrang Bhaiya, he called up early morning while he was having his breakfast. So the MD KR came at that point of time, called up Mr. Bothra, and he said, Mr. Bothra, I understand you are riding on 2 horses, and I'm withdrawing my team. We had no idea what it meant. I'm withdrawing my team, you're riding on 2 horses. That no, he got confused. He called us, yaar, koi to phone aaya hai, aur aise bol raha, what it means. Let's go to LG and check. So we went to the Indian top management there and said, sir, kya ho gaya? I mean, I'm withdrawing my team factory se, aapki sari team withdraw ho gayi hai. Bole ji, aap LG or Samsung dono bana rahe ho. And you know, globally, LG and Samsung are not being manufactured by the same set of people. So, and our MD got this information from the market. Yes, we have two facilities, but then there's a different facility. You can't ride on two horses. So I think that was one inflection point out, or the first tough call ever in life we had to face. That gave us like almost a sleepless night, and the whole night हम लोग आपस में बात करते रहे चारों, क्या करें. And then I think Bajrang Bhai took a very bold call. He went ahead to the MD of LG and he said, "Sir, we grow with LG. We believe in the LG story, and here we are selling off our other unit to some of our relatives, and we just moved out of that other business where we were doing other brands, and we sold it off. We sold off that company to our friends, and we embarked on a new journey with LG. From 2003 to
Okay.
2011, to almost 10 years, we remained a dedicated wife or a dedicated partner, and we grew together. We enjoyed the journey. From air conditions, we started making televisions, microwave ovens, the entire set of range of products. And I think that was one big learning experience we got of not only assembling but manufacturing the appliances, understanding the intricacies, and the technology handover happened very smoothly for us.
Because you were dedicated LG, so LG had incentive to train you, teach you,
Mm.
help you upgrade your
Definitely.
technology, and
Is it
okay.
the huge round of appreciation I have for the way LG not only trained us, but they actually changed the entire manufacturing ecosystem within India, for especially for appliances. So they handholded almost all of their suppliers. They took them abroad. They showed us the vision that see how this is how world class manufacturing is being done in Korea, in China. So no, that dream to be world number one, I think, was we saw when wherever we went with LG, and then they just nurtured us to believe in ourselves and then show us that what we can do. Small improvements can lead to bigger results. I think it was a great learning experience.
Okay. How did you go beyond TV? Was it again the duty benefit, excise duty benefit, which caused them to give you more products, or like what was the reason for beyond AC expansion?
See, at that point of time, in those days, since we had the excise duty regime and we had the local sale taxes also, so a lot of states had announced local sale tax benefit as well. So most of the business which originally came to or which moved out from LG's or the other appliance manufacturers' own facility was the tax incentives. So there were local tax incentives and etc. So in their pursuit to balance the facilities of seasonality and all that, they started giving out more products and to draw more benefits.
Okay, because AC is like a summer product mostly,
So
so
since
they give you
balance
more
six
products to
months, there's a
balance.
period wherein we only have overhead, so they give us other businesses to balance the production facilities.
Mm. Okay. Uh, how does the relationship work in terms of the money here, the pricing? Do you do you have freedom to price it at what you want, or because you said they give you the bill of material, they are clearly aware of every item of cost of yours, and even when they are giving you other products, they're teaching you how to manufacture, so they have full knowledge of your cost structure. So how does the pricing work? Like the price at which you sell it to them, are you able to dictate that, or do they say that this is your margin that we are giving and this is the price you will sell it to us at?
So now, see, in these days, we have something very popular called EMS, Electronic Manufacturing Services. So this is broadly comes under EMS services. Now, within EMS, we have two categories of manufacturers. Um, the OEM manufacturers, who are the one to whom the design and everything is owned by the principal, and you just do the value add in terms of assembling it or making some of the components. So that is where the original business what we started falls into. The entire knowledge of bill of material, tools, designs, everything belongs to the principal. And there is a second model called the ODM model, wherein the tools, designs belongs to us as a manufacturer, but we are no brand. We'll supply it to a principal who will then market it. So the clear line of difference is that in one case, the entire bill of material is known. The other case, it's a black box. And we actually moved out from being an OEM in 2011-12 to an ODM in 2012-13.
Okay. What prompted that change? So till 2011, the price was decided by LG. They would say this is the margin that
Yeah.
you will get. Okay. What prompted the change?
Uh, So again, the second inflection point in our
And
life.
what before you tell me this, what was your revenue like by 2011?
So
Rough number.
2011, 12, when we were doing LG's AC, TV, microwave, everything, we peaked a revenue of almost 300 crores, 275 to 80 crores in those days, 2011, 12,
And this is
exclusively
all
manufactured by
100% from LG. Okay.
single customer.
Okay.
Now, in those, during that time, LG was going through a turmoil globally. They had invested heavily into mobile and they failed, and they were into pain. And a change in management happened, a change of guards happened in the headquarters in Korea. And the new management wanted to shift everything which was being manufactured outside to their own facilities, which they believed were lying idle or were not utilized. And they actually wanted to undertake a huge cost cutting or steps and restructure the entire business because there's lost heavily. So the knife fell on us. We were given 5-6 months kind of a grace period that within 5-6 months, this entire business is going to move out to 70,
So there's
300
like
crore. They
300
were
crore
no
revenue gone in 5 months.
zero.
Wow.
एंड मुझे तो लगा हम सड़क पे आ जाएंगे इसके
Hmm.
बाहर कभी सोचा नहीं 10 साल पहले जब कमिट करा था कि आपके साथ चलेंगे हम तो इंडियन मेंटेलिटी अब तो जीना मरना तेरे संग एंड देन सडनली ये कहाँ से we our lots for weeks we could not sleep. I mean, this the deadline kept on ringing bells कि करेंगे क्या, how to do, what to do.
What did you figure out as the solution then?
It was a very no. I'll say that this those few weeks wherein we were struggling, so our own team, the strength of the team, and everybody came together to actually discover कि हमारा potential here. What is it that we have learned in the last 8-10 years? Obviously, our packaging business, the old business was doing pretty good, but we had almost 800,000 people working with us, and it is like 1,000 families depending on us. We just can't work out if a customer is going. So we need to discover what is our course and what is it that we have learned in the last 8-10 years. We sat together, we brainstormed,
The
and the
1,000
team said,
people is in the durable business only.
yes. So there was
Based out
1,000
of
people
Dehradun.
trying to. So we just can't say कि धंधा बंद कर दो और करके आ जाओ. No, it was a very tough call. So the
And
team,
that
they said,
packing material business was at what kind of turnover?
so packing that point of time, we were doing probably around 100 odd crores. So 75, 80 to
Okay.
100 crores. Yeah. Was the revenue we were
Okay.
doing. This was like 3 times the revenue. So our team, they sat together and they said, sir, हम अपना AC बनाते हैं. Let us manufacture our own, let us design our own product and sell it to other customers. And obviously we were also looking at other opportunities because हमने manufacturing में पैसा डाल दिया था. So हम सिर्फ plastic modeling भी करते हैं. So we started looking at other opportunities. So we moved out people from manufacturing to marketing. हमने बोला कि चलो manufacturing तो हो रही नहीं है, सबको कुछ जिम्मेदारी देगी. You go to one area, and we formed teams of people to wander around that belt to find out what other businesses we can do. And we stumbled into an opportunity wherein Voltas was looking for somebody to make air conditioners for them. Voltas in those days was at number 2 and was coming up very fast to catch up with LG. So they had started outsourcing products, and at the same time they were importing substantially. So we stumbled and they said, आप LG के लिए बनाते हो, हमारे लिए बना सकते हो क्या? But we do only ODM, means we will not give you design, tools, technology, anything. You have to develop your own. And since you have been doing it for LG, we believe you can do it. So that belief, what they showed, prompted us to actually get into our own design. And within months, we were able to come up with a product to their satisfaction, and we onboarded a new customer. And the
Amazing.
very following year, 2013, we almost touched the same revenue without LG, let's say.
Wow. Okay. And this was purely with Voltas, or you also then got other?
Voltas obviously was our first customer, but then We also got other
And these
customers.
were, you were doing window AC, split AC? What kind of AC?
So it was first of all an outdoor unit for LG. So those days, nobody was making the indoor units of AC in India. It was almost 100% imported. So outdoor was one part which was getting manufactured to a certain extent, and windows. So being a low tech product, the window was there, which was getting. So we invested in the tools, technology for both the outdoor and window, and our journey as an ODM started.
Outdoor means where that part of the in the split AC part of the unit is outside and
Yeah,
part
it's
is
outside
inside.
your
That
house.
is
Yeah.
okay.
Which is a less aesthetic part, whereas indoor is something which is more aesthetic. So every brand will kind of have their own design indoor. Whereas outdoor is more or less a common thing because customer hardly pays attention to its look and feel.
Acha. So you were doing the outdoor part of it. Indoor Voltas was either doing
Voltas,
in house or whatever.
that time, almost all the brands were imported.
Oh, they were importing. Okay. 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 Because there you also need more like chips and sensors and those kind
And
of things.
more investment into tools and designs.
Hmm.
And if I have 5 customers, every brand will have like 10 different SKUs. So the investment keeps on increasing. And those days, the volume for the air conditioner was too small to support any investments into toolings to that extent.
Right. Okay. 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 Hmm. Understood. Okay. So you restarted with this like
And yet,
ODM of air
in the
conditioner.
start.
Okay.
So air
Hmm.
conditioner, our
Hmm.
own design journey started. And along the way, by then the excise duty has reduced. It had come in line with all other normal products. So we, from being just an assembler, we had embarked on a journey to become a manufacturer in true sense. So we started making our own set of parts as well, which goes into the assembly line. So we the
What are
steel.
the parts? Like say the motor, the compressor. I think AC has a compressor, right? Like
Yeah.
what are
So
the major parts of an AC?
the more simpler parts to begin with would be the steel parts, the body, the chassis, the body, the plastic parts of an indoor, again, the bodies and all those things. So, and then the heat exchanger. So these are technically the core part which a manufacturer does, and then more standard part which are not, let's say, not only AC related, would be the motor and the compressor, because a motor is also used in a lot of other appliances. So that would typically be outsourced from a motor manufacturer, a compressor from a compressor manufacturer. But yeah, so largely we got into making of our own heat exchangers, our own plastic parts, our own steel parts, that way.
What's a heat exchanger?
So heat exchanger is like in a car you have a radiator. So in a split AC you will have two heat exchanger, two set of heat exchangers, one on the outdoor and one on the indoor. The blue color or a gold color steel, copper aluminum part.
What is the science behind? How does it work? Like
Okay. So typically what happens is in the compressor the refrigerant is compressed and then it is given to the indoor side where the heat exchange happens. The air becomes colder, the gas inside becomes hot, and it goes to the outdoor unit wherein again the heat exchange happens from the condenser side back to the compressor, and so it's a cycle. The cycle keeps on happening.
okay, okay. Like the air is hitting the the metal part and taking
Yeah.
the coldness,
Co-
or rather giving the heat to the
so
metal.
when you are
Okay,
getting the
okay.
cold air inside the room, a second set of heat exchange happens on the outdoor side wherein the heat is being taken by the environment and becomes cooler.
Hmm.
Whenever you
Okay,
go to the outdoor,
okay.
you always find कि गर्म हवा आ रही है और indoor में ठंडी हवा आ रही है.
Right,
So this
right,
is how
right,
it is
right.
balanced.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, got it, got it. Okay. Uh, so you started doing the like the all of this in-house like a proper ODM. So then what? Like from 2013, how did it progress?
From 2013 to the last year, last 10, 11 years, I think the journey has been extremely remarkable. And we have grown to a true ODM in the sense that, like I said, we started making all those parts, the steel part, the plastic parts, the heat exchanger. And in 2021, during pandemic again, when the entire world was going through a lot of pain, we got enough time to sit together and rediscover ourselves. I think so that pandemic period was a golden period for us when we realized what is the potential inside. Because वो रोज की भाग दौड़ में शायद हम बहुत कुछ छोड़ दिया था हमने. We were not able to recollect, arrange those pieces together. So we did our first round of private equity raise in September 21. and we raised $20 million, close to 160 odd crore rupees, and we invested into a second manufacturing location. So we expanded, we put up a factory in central part of India in Rajasthan, Bhiwadi. And then we did again a second round of private equity raise in September, just a year after that, September 22. We again raised $20 million, again 160 odd crores. And we put up a third facility in south of India, in Surrey City, very close to Chennai in Andhra. And we also expanded our manufacturing footprints into the components. So we started now doing the controllers. We also had a lot of import substitution products, cross flow fans, injection molded, the larger injection molded part. So we actually जो हमने पहले से 20 साल में जितने पैसे नहीं लगाए थे उतने पैसे हमने 3 साल में लगा दिए, simply put.
Yeah. Okay.
And we expanded like anything. And this is what I think gave us a CAGR of almost 45% in from 21 to 24. So previous 3 years we had a CAGR of almost 45%. So the business grew by leaps and bounds. We expanded our capacity.
What was your revenue in 2020?
So 2020 our revenue was 500 crores. I remember 550.
And how much will you end this year at? Like current financial year? What will
Last
it
year we
be
did
approximate?
1500. This year, the market guidance, because a listed company, I can't give the exact numbers, but the guidance you've given to the market is that we'll end up somewhere around 22 plus minus 50.
Wow. 1500. So 50% growth from last year to this year
Yeah.
at such a large base.
Yeah. And this is durable.
Wow. Okay.
There is our second company also. Now, this is something, our second company, the Epack Prefab. So from polymers, the packaging business, in 2008, we carved out another business, which is called Epack Prefab, where we do pre-engineered buildings and prefabricated structures. So that business has also grown in last 14, 15 years. And we just filed our DRHP last week. And that's our second company, which is en route to get listed pretty soon.
Okay. Amazing. So, in staying with the durable business alone, what is, so you said you started doing a lot of import substitution. Can you help me understand what those products are that you started doing?
See, now, I think when the government of India took this initiative of Atmanirbhar Bharat or Make in India, I think it has been a very well structured thought that they've not just made it a slogan. They've actually went inside it to connect with the people and realize कि Make in India करने के लिए what are the roadblocks? हमको बनाना क्या है? It just can't be Make in India, Make in India. You have to also understand कि बनाना क्या है और कैसे बनाना and why currently it is not being manufactured. So this is where I think the entire government machinery got together and they started interacting with this trade unions, let's say. So we have those different bodies, different industry bodies, like the SIAMA, which
NASCOM and
SARAMA. So we have a lot of these associations, private associations of industries. So they approached us, they onboarded us, they made us a party to this dream. And they shared us कि देखो आज की डेट में, these are again some reference again, आज की डेट में these are the parts you are importing. Why are you importing it? Why can't you make in India? What is the problem? So they when they, let's say for air conditioners, when the government approached the industry and they asked air conditioner, we are $1 billion is our outflow from India to China. What is it that you want to manufacture this products in India? And the industry said China is cost competitive. The pricing they give is so and so. We can't compete with them. So they went a step ahead. Well, karna kya happy with? If we have to take head on or if we have to manufacture these products, what are the roadblocks? And then we said, okay, stage 1 we can do this, stage 2 we can do this, and we made something called a phased plan. As an industry, we made a phased manufacturing plan. Okay, first phase we can do this, second phase we can do this, and to enable us to do this, we want certain set of protection from the government side. And the government was
what protection?
Sorry,
what protection? Like
protection is always in terms of increase tariff rates.
Okay.
And also, this tariff rate is one thing, and also then the government is saying if you do this, so then they actually had BCG, Boston Consulting Group, to put a plan in place. How big the market can grow if we make in India, what are the roadblocks, and what are the enablers, how can we enable these joint actions. So they came up with something called PLI, Production Link Incentive, wherein they said, if the disability between India and China is 12%, the government will give 6% incentive, and they asked us, 6% plus industry dalegi, and we'll cover this distance. so that within the next 5 years, 6 years, we will become enough competitive and we will have access to export market or market outside India. And this journey of Make in India will become a year. And today in 3 years, we actually see that whatever we dreamt of or whatever we intended to achieve, we have covered a lot of ground as an industry and as a country.
Amazing, amazing. And what are these products specifically, which you were previously importing and now you do?
See, now, especially if I talk about air conditions, 2019-20, when this first set of initiative was taken by the government, 25% complete units were imported in India. 25% of complete AC sold in country. So at that
Okay.
point of time, India was almost a 7 million AC was the consumption, and 2 million was imported as a finished product, and of the balance 5 million which was manufactured, again 70% components were imported. So जो 75% बन रहा था उसका
Okay.
30% component इंडिया में बन रहे थे, 75% component भी import हो रहे थे. That was the status when we started this journey. And last year, based on the industry estimates and the reports published by various bodies, we realized that today zero, almost close to negligible, is the import of the finished product. The market from 7 million has become 15 million, double. And the domestic manufacturing of components from 25% has become more than 65-70%. So
Wow.
it has grown probably 4 to 5 times in last 4 years.
So things like the compressors used to be imported earlier, which now you make in-house.
And it was imported. Now today almost close to 50% it is manufactured in India. The controller assemblies are almost 100% being manufactured in India. A lot of critical fans, heat exchangers, I mean, these are like 100% now. Motors are like more than 50-60% being manufactured in India. So, and this, everybody's ramping up operations. So, I mean, keeping our fingers crossed, but definitely within next couple of years, we'll be export ready as a country to take a lot of advantages in that direction.
Okay. I mean, how do you decide, that, for example, say, maybe do you build a motor in-house or do you work with a vendor to buy the motors? How do you take these kind of decisions? And some examples you can share with me of what you decided to do in-house, what some other Indian vendor is doing now instead of importing it.
Now, I think everybody has their own strategy. So, within air conditioning manufacturers itself, we have some players who had acquired a lot of component manufacturing capability by way of mergers and acquisitions.
Okay.
So we believe that has been their strategy to grow, and mergers and acquisitions have their own inherent advantages and disadvantages both. So that is the way they have grown. Whereas for us, we embarked on a journey wherein we have tried to create larger manufacturing hubs. So like I shared, we today have 3 manufacturing hubs, the Dehradun, Bhiwadi and Sri City. So each one of them is larger with almost the capability to manufacture each component within that setup. So that is like, we can say, a China model where everything is manufactured within the same setup and then the finished product is being rolled out. So for us, it was learning a skill and scaling it up. We believe that this will give us an opportunity by way of putting up the latest manufacturing technology, which otherwise we would not access to if we were doing something by way of mergers and acquisition. So we went ahead and we invested in the latest technology, which is a forward-looking technology in terms that it has an extendable life of the next 8 to 10 years, is more efficient, both in terms of energy as well as efficiencies in terms of output. And this definitely has given us a lot of advantages in terms of being efficient, low-cost ODM manufacturer in the country. And
When you
was
say
efficient for certain
hubs,
components
yeah.
like motors and all, we have done strategic joint ventures. So we've entered into a joint venture with a group called Ramatna Group to make motors. So we understood that this would help both of us to leverage our strengths and put together so that we can create a larger opportunity.
When you say manufacturing hubs, is it like you plus your vendors or only you? Like, what do you mean by the hubs, that you have these 3 hubs? Like, you have your vendors also co-located with you who are doing some parts, or this is all like your in-house?
So actually, it is mostly in-house because today, especially for AC, if I say technically except compressor, almost everything is getting manufactured in-house for us. So
Okay.
we are making close to 75% by value of parts in-house. And then what balance remains, every small parts, for which ultimately we have found that the suppliers co-locate nearer to us. So yeah, when I say hub, it's a combination that larger parent companies ours, and then we have our suppliers also moving closer to us.
Okay. Understood. Okay. And got it. Okay. Uh, what is the compressor? You said you still buy it instead of doing it in house. Is it complex to make in house, or like?
So today, especially in air conditioned compression, we have two larger Chinese manufacturers in the world who command probably more than 80% of the global market share. So definitely they are too big to have created an economies of scale which will be very difficult to match with the kind of volumes currently we are looking at. So, and today we find that we are more happy to collaborate with them at a strategic level and secure our supplies and service our customers. So currently, definitely, we are not looking at embarking on that journey of making compressions in the short term. We are happy to collaborate at a strategic level with our suppliers. So it's not that
Okay.
the technology is not available, but we believe that the kind of economies of scale they've achieved is difficult to match in a short period of
Right. The cost is not worth it investing to make it in house. It'll be much costlier.
time.
In the Indian market, who are the other brands who manufacture on their own? Like a lot of brands would be working with ODMs. Some brands would be doing their own. Like say, I think maybe Midea has their own manufacturing. So who are the brands who manufacture? LG also does their own manufacturing, or?
So, Akshay, we have probably more than 60 brands who market appliances in India, especially air conditions. So, we have more than 60 registered brands, big and small. Of these, the top 15 brands, they command more than 90-95% of the overall market. And out of these 15 brands, we have 10 brands who also manufacture on their own. And so 10 brands who manufacture on their own, almost everybody does a mix of somebody makes a 50%, somebody 30%, somebody 70% in-house, and then balance the outsource to OEMs and ODMs. So that's a typical mix. At an industry level, we understand that it's like um, 60% in-house and 40% outsource is an overall average for the industry.
Okay. Okay. And who are these five brands who don't manufacture at all? Who are basically selling?
Amongst the
Yeah. You said out of top 15, 10 are manufacturing and using
10 who are
ODMs.
for manufacturing, it is easier to count the top 10 who are manufacturing.
Hmm.
So it is LG, Samsung, Daikin, Carrier, Panasonic, Voltas, Blue Star, Haier, Havells, and Godrej. I think these are the 10 brands who have a manufacturing setup in India.
The others are mostly working with ODMs and
Yes. Yes.
they're
It is not
more.
manufacturing well Indian. If they are doing
Okay.
similar brands, yeah.
Right. Okay. Understood. So, for a buyer of an air conditioner, what is some advice you can share that uh, the this is the technology that you should buy, this technology you should not buy? What is the gimmick? What is actually worth paying for? Uh, any advice you have, because you are the one who's actually manufacturing it, so you would understand really what is gimmicks, what is adding value, what is worth paying for.
So actually, I think I get this question almost every day from all my friends and relatives, and I just in the way I say, uh, if you want to travel, you have an option for a bicycle, a rickshaw, a scooter, no, vehicle, a car, bus, everything. So it's the same thing. Ultimately, end of the day, the purpose is to get cooling. It depends on what is the kind of cooling you want. And I'll not say that there's any gimmick. So obviously there's no gimmick. It is you get what you pay for. Obviously, so there is value for money in every product. Every brand gives its value for money. Some by way of life, some by way of service, some by way of enhanced cooling. So I mean, I think all the brands are worth it. So it depends on what we want. So what is our brand? It will be
Like
wrong
say,
for me to take that yield or ye matlab, because end of the day, I mean, we
yeah.
are making it for everybody. So we understand everybody is giving the right value.
Like there's this technology, I think it's called the inverter technology in ACs. So
Yeah.
what is that technology? Is it worth paying the premium for it?
Yes, and definitely yes. So inverter is something which has helped us optimize the energy consumption today. And Akshay, just to give you some idea, an AC in 2010, if it used to consume 10 units of electricity, today a same, let's say a 1.5 ton is consuming less than 5 units. So the energy efficiency more than double or triple in certain cases. So or half, let us say, the consumption. So that way, the affordability in terms of running these products is becoming more and more. And not just air conditioners, even more, most of the other appliances. In India itself, the government has come up with something called BIS regulation, BEE, Bureau of Energy Efficiency Regulations, which has helped optimize the energy consumption. And we are looking at global warming and all those case scenarios wherein we'll be able to save a lot of electricity. Otherwise, the way electronics are entering into households, our electricity requirement would double, triple every year.
Okay. So the inverter technology, how does it work? How does it reduce consumption?
See, now a typical room AC, which is a fixed speed AC, it has two modes, on and off. So either it is running or it is not running. So even so, when the room set room temperature is achieved, it will go into an off mode. And then when again the room becomes hotter, it will again switch on. So that's the mode it works, on off mode. Whereas an inverter is something wherein uh, it fluctuates between on and off. So it will run at 10%, 20%, 30% and maintain the environment or the room's desired set point without getting into on off mode. So that actually helps save close to 25-30% electricity.
Okay. What are the other tech innovations in ACs besides the inverter technology? What are the other recent innovations, the
See,
tech innovations?
the tech innovations, um, today we have connected appliances. So ACs today are connected definitely. So we have those Internet of Things and we are on cloud ACs. We can all of them remotely. So that's something. ACs with air purifier are things which actually help clean the air at the same time while they are cooling. We have hot and cold ACs which are very useful for a place like North India wherein we have peak summers as well as peak winters. So definitely they are a certain set of other innovative products. Give inverter ACs and we have something called variable ACs today. So which can like adjust themselves as per the load in the room. So they can work from 0.5 to 1.5 or 210 depending on the load of the place. So we have VRV. So it's a continuously evolving industry.
Okay, fascinating. And the like, there's one thing I was curious about. So you're not the eldest brother, right? You have your elder brother.
Yeah.
Why are you MD and CEO?
Yes, think that's one thing I will say. This shows the kind of relationship we have amongst the four partners who are into this business. And I'll put it this way that they are appreciative of the fact that I was the one who put probably some bit of more energy or efforts to grow this business. So, okay, actually, it's this way. Like I shared, we have three different businesses, the appliances business, then the prefab business, and the oil packaging business. So, and we have four co founders in this business. So, Mr. Lakshmipat Bothra, he was the one who actually started the packaging business, has always been passionate about it. So, he leads the packaging business as the MD and CEO. And then we have my brother Sanjay, who has been passionate about the pre-engineered PEV business. So he has been single-handedly driving that business since 2008-9 when we founded it. So he is the one who's leading it. And I was handed over the responsibility to turn around the appliances business in 11-12 when LG was moving out. So I started looking at it full time. And so I became the Indian CEO for this business. And eldest amongst us,
Okay.
Mr. Bajrang Bothra, he is the chairman of all three companies. So he is our guiding force in that sense.
Okay. This pre-engineered business, what is the turnover there?
So last year we did close to 700 odd crores in that business.
Okay. And what do they manufacture? Whom do they supply to?
So that's a pre-engineered PV building company. So we do larger warehouses, airport terminal buildings, something like port cabins also. So we'll do buildings, cold rooms, cold storages. So anything that needs
And
a
then
pre-cleared structure.
plastic or made
No,
of plastic or
no,
what?
so these are like generally, if it is insulated, it will have a sandwich panel, and if it is non-insulated, it will be like those large industrial sheds or terminal buildings of an airport or a bus stand or a railway. So those
Oh,
pre-engineered buildings,
like
steel fabrication.
steel. Okay, steel fabric. Okay. And in this, is it a custom built for every order you custom build it, or is it like a standard
So this is
SKUs?
this is like a business exactly opposite of our durable business. That in durable business, for us, it is a journey wherein we get associated with the customer, then it's marriage for life kind of a thing. This is every new order is a new customer. So every
Mm,
day you have to dig
okay.
and break.
Okay. And you have to custom build it for each customer. They will give you the dimensions and measurement and
So this
according
is
to
like
which you, okay.
engineering company. So we have a large team of engineers designing every building.
Okay, 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 okay. Fascinating. Okay. So what are your focus areas for the durable business over the next few years? What are the things that you want to focus on? What problems do you want to solve?
See, Akshay, for the durable business, definitely now we have a complete roadmap set ahead of us for next couple of years. So from being 14, 15 odd crores company last year, FY24, we internally have drawn out a plan that we want to grow it to 3x, 4x in next 4 years. And we want to diversify into other appliances and definitely aspire to be India's number one appliances ODM company. So, and in this journey to diversify from ACs, we have already started making a lot of smaller home appliances, the kitchen appliances like the mixer grinders, water dispensers, and induction cooktops. We're starting off with air fryers. We started making room coolers. So coolers is another interesting category we started making, and we recently we started into washing machines. So we are expanding our product portfolio with the vision that for us it is important to acquire a customer, and once we have this customer, most of the brands are multi-product, so we can
Right.
always enhance on our relationship with them and cross sell them a lot of products. So and certainly in terms of dreams, personally I am devoting a lot of time to the product development side. So I'm very passionate about that. So this is where I use my bit of engineering neck, and we get into designing products. So we want to remain in this journey of being an ODM, wherein we focus more on design side of things, and then also manufacturing, while serving our customers to offer them a complete build product.
Okay. Who are your major, like top three, four customers, brands that you work with?
See, so we work with almost all the top 10 air conditioning brands in India. So we work with Voltas, Blue Star, Average, Godrej, almost every one of them to give them the complete finished product. In smaller appliances, we work with Philips, Bosch and Siemens, Bajaj, Crompton Greaves, Usha. So again, the top, all the top brands in the.
Okay, okay, okay. Uh, do you ever want to launch your own brand?
Not really. No.
Okay.
We
Why?
enjoy this bit of being the creator of the product, whereas I think the brands, our customers have mastered the art of marketing it, and we are happy collaborating with them and creating the whole ecosystem.
If you look at Midea is an interesting case study here, which
Okay.
was a similar ODM in China, which in India they are also selling through carrier or they have some tie up with carriers. So in India they are actually a brand. Not I don't think they are doing third party manufacturing in India, right? So they've taken that journey of directly becoming a brand. So that doesn't sound interesting to you. You think you want to?
To give you some idea, moving beyond my idea, I think this is one way the entire manufacturing uh, partners have graduated gradually um, in time. So be it LG, LG was LG also used to be an OEM way back in 90.
Ah,
From a Lucky Gold Star OEM, they became a brand. Almost all the Chinese, whether it is Midea, it is Gree, or other the top 10 brands, if you look at it within China, they all started their journey as an OEM and then moved on to become a brand. I think That's one. That's the way you graduate from school to
Hmm.
college. That's the way they have.
Right, right,
So
right,
many
right,
years
right.
happened in the
Okay.
past. Will the same journey happen in India? We are yet to see. Today, if you ask us, we are not very keen, or we are not keen at all to look at things in that sense. Will it be there after
There's
10 years?
enough growth within this
Yeah.
ODM business. There's enough
Currently, we're not
growth.
looking at. So we don't want to
Yeah.
distract ourselves. Uh,
Right. Yeah. Who are the other ODM companies in India?
See, amongst the listed companies, if we look at the largest listed player in appliances segment is called Amber Enterprises, Amber. And then we have another listed company, PG Retroclass. So, and then us. So probably we are the top three larger ODMs in India for appliances.
And what is the relative sizes? Like what kind of turnover does Amber do or PG do?
So in terms of market cap or revenue, see, they are into a lot of other products. So they have other verticals as well, which are
Okay.
together in this entity. Whereas for us, we have the durable business separate, the PV business separate, the packaging business. So that way we have divided them into separate entities. But yes, they are like four times the size in terms of market, both of them.
Okay. 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 Got it. Got it. Okay. Understood. And what is the, how do you, uh, you're not yet at that age, but eventually you will hand it over to the next generation. And uh, there is always all these news headlines of family run businesses. When the next generation comes in, then they fight with each other. And you are essentially a family run business today. So what is the way forward that you see?
See, Akshay, last 25 years of this journey, wherein from being a 25-year-old new entrant into business, today I'm going to be 50 this August. So, no, last 25 years. We started this business, the four of us together. We have scaled it up to this level. And definitely, we always have remembered certain things that what would be the way forward for us to uh, keep on growing, or like you say, the plans for us to hand over the baton to the next generation. No, I think that's something which we first of all we look around us and look at reference cases where we have seen they have successfully been able to translate and keep growing the business, whether within the family or outside the family. For me and Sanjay, see, we have all daughters. So I have three daughters. My brother Sanjay has two daughters. So and we have structured our own business in a way that and this is, I think, why we also got them listed, that we want to continue a professional journey tomorrow, suitable people to look at managing the businesses if required, and also looking at talent in-house within the company and within the families wherever available. I think we are not bound, or we are not keeping ourselves constrained that we will hand over the baton only to the family.
Okay. Understood. Understood. What are successful examples of transition that you are inspired by?
See, and almost all the successful businesses at some point of time, they're family run and family started, at least in India. And whether it is
Yes.
Tata's or Ambani's, everything, I mean, they were all family run, and they even currently Ambani's of Reliance is a family run business.
Yes.
So we can always look at the way they structure things and the way they uh, create opportunities within and outside.
Mm.
So, and we have enough uh, mentors or guides or consultants available who help us create those structures in place. So,
Mm.
like each of the company, we have ESOPs in place. So, we are looking to nurture talent within the company also.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So,
Oh,
shareholders can remain shareholders. The company can be run professionally. I think we can always
mm.
create that distinction. If
Mm.
at all,
What percent? Okay. What percentage of EPAC Durable is like held by promoters, and how much is? Sorry.
promoter, we hold close to 48% plus.
Okay, 40. Okay. Okay. And what is the market cap for the company today?
So, on an average, it is 5,000 crores plus.
Wow, amazing, amazing, amazing. So in 25 years, you have created something like 2,500 crore worth of wealth through this one business alone.
Yeah.
Amazing. 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 Okay. Any last words of advice to young aspiring founders?
See, each one of the young aspiring founders, I only give two bits of advice. I'll say one is follow your instinct. So, and don't try to copy anybody. You know, comes genuinely within from inside. So, whatever is your dream, whatever is your vision, whatever is your passion, you'll always find a way. So, just keep dreaming and be original.
Right, right, right. Amazing. Thank you so much for appearing on this interview. It was a real pleasure.